Hello, everybody. Hi, I am Lisa Walzer, the immediate past president of AIA Newark and Suburban. I'd like to introduce our presenter of our history webinar, history of our section, Newark and Suburban. Our presenter is Judy Donnelly. I am sure many of you know her already. In 2010, Judy was the president of the American Institute of Architects Newark and Suburban section. In 2019, Judy served as the president of AIA New Jersey. She is the principal owner of Donnelly Architecture, LLC, an architectural firm that works both on residential and commercial projects. The focus of the firm is project excellence with a personal touch. Simultaneously, she is an associate vice president of residential design and construction at CHA Partners, a full-service real estate company. Judy is licensed to practice architecture in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. She has a BFA from Kean University and an MA from New Jersey Institute of Technology. Judy graduated with honors from both schools and received the Henry Adams AIA Award for GPA while at NJIT. Judy has certification from the California Office of Emergency Management as a disaster service worker. She serves her local community by volunteering her time in architectural services to many organizations. Judy Donnelly is now going to present the history of AIA Newark Suburban Architects, of which she continues to play a huge part.
Thank you.
Before I was just about to say, here's Judy, but I just want to give the attendees one little bit of information. Judy will take Q&A at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A section down at the bottom of your screen throughout the presentation, but we'll hold them and she'll answer them at the end. Okay, take it away, Judy.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lisa. It's so wonderful, and I'm grateful that I was invited to present this to our group today. I want to do a special thank you to Joyce Gattuccio, AIA, and Paul Bryan, AIA, and the AIA New Jersey Historical Society Archives Committee who worked on this for several years. They organized historic information for all 6 sections of AIA New Jersey and put together this program for us today. So thanks to their hard work, this presentation starts in 1928 and goes all the way through today. I want you to know that this is not inclusive. It represents a very small piece and a very important piece of AIA Newark and Suburban history. It is impossible to cover 98 years of history in a 1-hour presentation. So I am sure there is more to come, so look forward to that as well. Slide number 1, which is the screen you're looking at right now, is about the 125th anniversary of AIA New Jersey and the New Jersey Historic Archives Committee. On the left-hand side, you'll see the section map. This webinar is to document the history of each component of the organization. And today, as you know, it's AIA, it's us. So I'm honored to be here.
Newark and Suburban currently has over 640 members in its section, which covers Essex, Morris, Union, and Warren counties. The history of AIA Newark and Suburban Architects involves a combination of the Newark Society of Architects and the Suburban Society of Architects, which were originally 2 separate chapters of the New Jersey Society of Architects. The Newark Society was centered on the city of Newark in the southeast portion of Essex County. The Suburban Society covered Northwest Essex County, Warren County, and parts of Morris and Somerset counties. Today, the single section known as AIA Newark and Suburban Architects also includes Union County. That county was originally part of the Union County Society of Architects, which became known as the Central Chapter in the 1950s. Union County's AIA history during that time is covered in a separate webinar on the AIA Central New Jersey. Until the 1990s, the chapter did not strictly follow county boundaries the way today's sections do. It is at that time that Union County fully became part of AIA Newark and Suburban Architects, as did Morris County. Somerset County is now fully part of the AIA Central New Jersey.
New Jersey Society of Architects was incorporated in Jersey City in 1985, but was organized in Newark by 1896. In 1900, the New Jersey chapter of the American Institute of Architects formed, running as a separate but concurrent organization, governed by the same board as the New Jersey Society of Architects. This illustrates Newark's important role in the history of the organization that is now known as AIA New Jersey. Although the exact date of its formation has yet to be confirmed, the earliest discovered mention of the Newark Society of Architects is in this newspaper clipping from 1928. It describes the Newark Society of Architects as waging war on bootleg architects, and the New Jersey Board of Architects pledged its support. It is this date on which we begin our timeline of history of the AIA Newark and Suburban Architects. The earliest citation of the Suburban Society of Architects from 1937 in an article regarding a joint meeting with the Union County Society of Architects. This article mentions Marcel Villanova of East Orange as president of the Suburban Society. Villanueva wore many hats. He later served as the president of the New Jersey Society of Architects from 1945 to 1947. And he was also active. He was also active in the Art Center of Oranges, the American Artists Professional League, and the Orange Planning Board. He also advocated for the establishment of a school of architecture. We have to go back one. In 1938, Villanueva was reelected as the president of the Suburban Society. By this time, the society had 40 members, making it the largest of 8 NJSA chapters. In 1939, there was another joint meeting in the Union County and Suburban Societies. Prominent New York architect Imar Embury II was featured as a speaker at this event, and it was held at the Halfway House in Mountainside. 1940 saw the creation of an architectural exhibition to the area's Women Club by the Suburban Society of Architects. At left is a mention of the presentation of the Women's Club of Glen Ridge. At the right, the presentation of the Women's Club of the Oranges. The presentation included photographs, sketches, and models of homes and gardens throughout New Jersey. In a foreshadowing of what today would become Newark and Suburban Architects at the Union Society of 1946 annual dinner, the evening was featured Poi Gum Lee, a prominent Chinese architect, as a speaker. Following the end of World War II, the Suburban Society of Architects sponsored a booth at the Suburban Home Show held at West Orange Armory. The home show is indicative of the emphasis on housing that prevailed in the post-World War II era. In 1954, you can see the Verona Cedar Grove Times article here. Like other societies throughout the state, the mid-1950s saw the broadening of the suburban societies focused towards the fine arts. In 1954, a meeting featured New York sculptor Cleo Hartwig, a member of the art class faculty of the Montclair Art Museum. August 2nd was the 1956. This is a really important date because it was the official incorporation of the New Jersey chapter of the New Jersey Society of Architects that was filed with the state of New Jersey. So this one is really important because that's when we became a part of New Jersey. In 1960, the chapter honored Herbert Greenwald, the developer of the Colonnade Park Apartments, which now stands, it still stands on Route 28, right off of Route 280. The complex was considered the first major residential renewal project in Newark, a demonstration of faith in our future of our city. This was a time when urban renewal projects were emerging on the national forefront. In 1962, the Suburban Society members and their spouses were invited to visit the Trans World Airlines TWA Flight Center terminal, which was designed by the late Aero Saarinen at Idlewick, New York International Airport, which is now known as John F. Kennedy International Airport. This building opened in 1962, and it was an iconic bird-like image representing the 1960s jet age. Today, the building is the TWA Hotel. The Newark Society toured the 1963 and 64 World's Fair. The Suburban Society of Architects territory is listed in 1963. You can see by this article, the mid-1950s, the Union County Society of Architects referred itself as the central chapter, although its incorporation was not officially amended until 1965. The article is indicative of the Union County's geographical shift and alliance with Suburban Society. So in 1963, the Newark and Suburban Society toured the site of the 1964 and 65 World's Fair, which was viewed to view the construction progress, similar to the hard hat tours that we do today. The tour was sponsored by Owens Corning Fiberglass Corporation, which is also a company that we use today. In 1965, for decades, the AIA New Jersey chapter and the New Jersey Society of Architects operated alongside each other as two separate organizations. But in 1964, they renewed the discussion of renewing and unifying the society as part of the AIA. And in 1965, the merger took place. Finally, the distinct chapters within the society were officially associated with AIA National. That's when we became our mother chapter, which is national. In 1966, the Architects and the Community show sponsored by the Suburban Society opened at the mall at Short Hills. The mall also opened in 1961. It featured 50 award-winning projects selected by NJSA, AIA National Award winners, and the presentation of the Urban Renewal Project by the Princeton University graduating class. The show was staffed each day by members of the Suburban Society to answer questions and offer comments on the displays, similar to events that we still hold today. In 1967, the Suburban Society hosted a lecture on suburban planner, which featured James S. Rosant, the designer of Newtown of Reston, Virginia. At that time, the town of Reston was considered a good example of suburban planning. You can see the sketch on the left. Sorry, the slide is a little bit blurry, but going through the archives of the newspaper for the historic organization is a pretty incredible task and not always easy. Robert E. Davison of Cedar Grove was announced as the recipient of $500 Suburban Society of Architects Scholarship in 1968. The announcement was made during the Architects Week in New Jersey in conjunction with the New Jersey Society of Architects. I find this to be a very, very generous donation in 1968.
The Suburban Society's annual exhibit at the Short Hills Mall continued through the 1960s. In 1968, the exhibit also featured a film on improvements in urban and suburban design. A new exhibit was featured in 1969. In the photo on the right is renowned associate member Carlton B. Riker Jr. in his role as publicity chairman of Milburn Township. In 1969, the Newark chapter and the Suburban Society of Architects were two separate chapters of AIA New Jersey. In 1970, brought the merger between two chapters under the new name of Newark and Suburban Society of Architects. This same period also saw the merger of the Capital and Central chapters, as well as the merger of the Hudson County chapter with Architects League. By 1970, the number of sections in New Jersey went from 9 to 6.
The Newark and Suburban chapter celebrated its 1972 and 73 Past Presidents Gala at the Manor in West Orange, honoring Harry, Mailer, and Lloyd Fleischman. The one thing I find is wonderful is how all this was published in the newspaper. Today, we don't have quite as much success. During the fall of 1984, Cathedral Concert Series at Newark's Cathedral of Sacred Heart, the Newark Suburban Society of Architects conducted tours of the cathedral before every single concert. Newark and Suburban has also hosted a tour. I went on it. Probably more than one. Okay, where are we? The mid-1980s saw the emergence of the rostrum as the Newark and Suburban official newsletter. It began as a photocopied, typewritten affair and publication improved with advances in computerized word processing and became partially supported by advertising revenue. Physical publications of the rostrum were eventually replaced with the posting of news online via the section's website and social media series. In the 1990s, I worked for Lou Barbieri Architect, and he handled the rostrum within the office, so I remember that.
The territories were not always along county lines. This map from AIA National's archives shows the Newark Suburban chapter included all of Warren County, but only portions of Essex, Morris, Union, Hunterdon, and Somerset counties. This was not changed until the mid-1990s.
March 1, 1990, the Montclair Times. Throughout the years, the section developed strong awards programs. In 1990, architect Francis Klein, AIA, received Newark and Suburban's annual award for excellence in the built environment for a creative and historically sensitive renovation project in Glen Ridge.
1995 saw the election of William Brown III as president of AIA Newark and Suburban Architects. In continuance of a family tradition, his father, William Brown II, served as the section's president in 1973. In 1995, AIA Newark and Suburban Architects presented a traveling exhibit at the Verona Library. especially geared towards young people considering careers in architecture. Additionally, the section offered video presentations on the local access Channel 35 and Suburban cable. Into the late 1990s, AIA Newark and Suburban's robust design awards program continued. In 1997, awards to Stephen W. Schwartz, AIA, Philip Kennedy Grant, FAIA, and Nadasky Copelson Architects. 1999 awards went to Hugh Boyd, FAIA, and Stephen A. Safari, AIA.
In 2004, AIA New Jersey created the Michael Graves Lifetime Achievement Award in honor of noted New Jersey architect Michael Graves. Robert Cosarelli, on the right, and of Newark and Suburban successfully convinced Graves to design the award. Here we see a photo of Michael Graves with Bob, along with Martin Santini of the Architects League, with a personal note to Bob. I bet Bob has that framed today. In 2007, AIA National celebrated its 150th anniversary. AIA Newark and Suburban commemorated the event with a special announcement published in local newspapers. That same year, AIA New Jersey published a guidebook authored by Philip S. Kennedy Grant, FAIA, featuring the state's 150 best buildings and places, including architecture from all 6 sections. Past presidents' banquets have been an important part of our legacy. Members and presidents gather for a black tie gala affair and celebration. It used to be black tie. I think it's changed a little bit today. The board and officers is released from its responsibility. They are thanked and the new officers are installed. There are speeches, award ceremonies into the evening, and it rolls into dinner and dancing. The picture on the left was Yogesh Mistry AIA's banquet, where, believe it or not, many of you remember this, we had 40 to 50 AIA Newark and Suburban members and their families and friends dancing on the floor the entire night, even through dinner. Live the Box. This was a competition in 2008 that was conceived by Christopher Stone, AIA. The competition celebrated the reuse of metal shipping containers. In 2009, there was a celebration and awards were given. Kim Freitas, AIA, and the committee hosted the event. Kim Freitas was front and center with handling a lot of this event side by side with Christopher Stone. AIA Newark and Suburban proudly received in 2010 an award at Grassroots in Washington, D.C. And there I am on the right on the stage, along with Kim on the left and the president and other AIA members. It was a very exciting moment. Construction is a national organization that AIA Newark and Suburban hosts local events each year. The builds occur around Thanksgiving, where thousands of cans of food are built into sculptures representing a specific theme. In 2010, this was ran by Kevin McCormick, and we donated probably over 30,000 cans of food. This event took place at the Devils Hockey Arena. The lower center photograph here shows the AIA sculpture on the Jumbotron. And the top right shows our own Christy D. Bartolo, AIA, walking around with a hockey player who was a Stanley Cup winner as we judge this competition. This event still occurs today. The AIA Newark and Suburban Architects has so many events. It's a very powerful and exciting section, and I'm proud that I've been a part of this and the president of this organization. When you look at all of the events, and they're all written right here, you can see that they are all vast part of our history. And this is a very, very, like I said, small piece of it. This event took place in Mayfair Farms. And as I was working on this, I realized that even some of the venues that we have been to are part of our history. The AIA Newark and Suburban Board of Trustees, the committees, the executive committee worked diligently and really, really hard to provide these events to each of us. So I want to say thank you to everybody. On the left-hand side is Joe Flock, AIA, who hosted the roundtable for so many years. Joe could tell us how many years. I'm not real sure. We also had building tour upon building tour upon building tour. And if you look in the left-hand side of this picture right here, this is Stephen Safari, AIA, Newark and Suburban architect, who is no longer with us today. He served as a historian, and we have lots and lots of archives to pour through. Many of, I'm sure, are from him. In 2010, Jerry Eben captured me as my number one mentor, but he suggested that we do an Old Timers Day. So we sent out letters to everybody in the AIA Newark and Suburban section who was with us for over 25 years, or even 15, 20, 25 years. We honored all of them at the podium. It was a little bit chaotic, but it was a lot of fun. And every single person received an award. In 2012, AIA Newark and Suburban at the Clifton Art Center hosted, had a joint event with the League in Northern New Jersey featuring a screening of Romanza, the California structures of Frank Lloyd Wright. The film was presented at the Montclair Art Museum, and it featured every California Wright building, including a doghouse Wright designed in response to a letter he received from a 12-year-old boy. In 2012, the Clifton Art Center exhibited works of AIA Newark and Suburban Architects. I think Stephen Safari had a little bit to do with this. Anyway, it's still ongoing today. Our members presented lots of work, and it was a really lovely, lovely event. Now we're at 2023. 2023 saw annual events such as the Past President's Gala, which we host every year, and a Lego build at the Montclair Art Museum. On the left, you can see our beautiful and esteemed past president's banquet photograph. Here we have a construction that took place in 2023. As I said, it's still ongoing. And this event was founded by Robert Cozzarelli, FAIA, and it featured contestants who designed sculptures, again, built entirely out of food and donated to the food bank. This is a wonderful benefit that AIA Newark and Suburban does. And it's a lot of work. What wonderful, wonderful event. What a wonderful thing to attend for everybody, for each and every one of us on this call. 2024, pickleball. So now we're moving through to some fun times. Like the other sections throughout the state, AIA Newark and Suburban has been exploring new and innovative events to appeal to a broad range of members. As you can see, quite a few people came out at this 2024 Bagels and Pickleball event. A little bit of exercise in there too. 2024 Design Awards. So this is a annual highlight event of Newark and Suburban Architects, and it continues. We continue this program through to today. I know that Seth Lieb, he's not in this picture, but he certainly, I believe, handled quite a bit of this and is to everybody is to be thanked for all the hard work and dedication and the boards that are being exhibited. It's a beautiful, amazing, incredible, and fun event. Oh, and now we have 2025. In 2025, in celebration of the New Jersey Architecture Week, the AIA Newark and Suburban Architects held an opening reception of the holidays, an exhibit at the Montclair Library featuring winning entries from a winter art competition for students grades 6 through 12. This is outreach. In the 35th year of AIA Newark and Suburban, in conjunction with the Architects League, we hosted the annual trade show, which is happening again, you guys, this year. So I hope to see everybody there. This year it is being rebranded, and it's now going to be called Expo 25. Oh, there's a picture of me. I just noticed that. I'm talking to, I think, Joe David. And there's Seth Lieb. And I think many of you people have attended, and we look forward to seeing you again this year in May. Architecture. Now, this is a new kind of fun event, a competition to design and build unique pet shelters and pet furniture such as dog houses, cat condos, and bird houses. Net proceeds from the event go to the Rescue Haven Foundation and Paws, both of Montclair, and associated humane societies of Newark. So here we have AIA Newark and Suburban has a legacy of award programs, and this is where awards are honored to members of the section. So on the left-hand side, we have the Herman C. Litwack FAIA Distinguished Service Award. It is the highest honor bestowed on a member of AIA Newark and Suburban Architects. Herman served on the New Jersey Board of Architects and was instrumental in establishing a School of Architecture at NJIT. He is remembered for his tremendous public service, having served as a mentor for several young architects and as a coordinator of the state's intern development program. Now, on a side note, and I'll tell you something kind of fun and funny. In the 1950s, Herman Litwack invited Frank Lloyd Wright to come to one of our meetings. Frank Lloyd Wright eventually agreed to come. And the story goes like this. Herman picked up Frank Lloyd Wright at what is today Newark Airport. He picked him up in his car. And when Frank Lloyd Wright was taken to the car, he was annoyed because it was not a limousine. Herman opened up the front passenger of the door to welcome Frank Lloyd Wright into the car. Frank Lloyd Wright stood there, didn't say a word, and just stood there. So Herman quickly reacted when he realized that he better seat Frank Lloyd Wright in the back of the car. He opened the door and Mr. Wright got in. I do not know the rest of the story about the event. On the right-hand side of this slide, Carlton B. Reichert, Jr., Associate Emeritus AIA, is an award that is given to, it's a very high, one of the highest awards bestowed to an associate member of the AIA. Carlton's history as a support person in the architectural profession began with schooling in New York City and Newark before working for some premier architects in this area. Many of you today on this call probably remember him. He retired at the age of 87 from the office of Robert Hines, AIA, and his affiliations and memberships were many. He is fondly remembered. For over 60 years, he was with us. He would definitely get that 60-year award. Now we are getting closer to some of our esteemed FAIA members to celebrate. The AIA New Jersey Historical Archives Committee interviewed several longtime members for their thoughts and reflections on their tenure in the AIA. And to date, we have honored Bill Brown on this slide, Robert Cozzarelli, FAIA, William M. Brown III, FAIA, Robert P. Bertone, FAIA, and Jerome Leslie Eben, FAIA. So Bill Brown, he said that relationships are all part of the AIA. Collaboration, helping each other professionally and personally, sharing highs and lows and moments of achievement together. I called Bill yesterday and spoke to him. Thank you, Bill, for all of your insight and for your years. Next, below Bill, is Ron Bertone. He said his involvement in the AIA honed his leadership skills. You only become a better leader by being a leader. My involvement has led to participation on the planning board, my son's parochial school board, and now my condo association. Mr. Cozzarelli, FAIA, a good friend of mine. When I went to the first AIA meeting, I felt very comfortable. People embraced me as a young architect. Watching people in leadership positions, I thought I might as well get involved. 40 years of involvement is what happened because I enjoyed representing the profession and the architects. And I can tell you, Bob is one of the people that grabbed me in the early 2000s and pushed and encouraged. Now, of course, we have my number one M, Mr. Jerome Leslie Eben, FAIA. He was the 2007 president of AIA New Jersey chapter. He was also the president of AIA Newark and Suburban 2 times. Jerry said, upon joining AIA, I realized I could learn from older architects. I could see how well people spoke, and over time, I picked up on that. Then in 2008, I was invited by AIA National to speak in front of Congress. I almost had a heart attack, but he did it. Fantastic. He spoke about the brownfield sites. It was very successful. Thank you, Jerry. You're still my number one mentor. Thank you to everybody on this slide. So we are getting closer to concluding this webinar. We will have some question and answers. I apologize for some of the slides that I went through maybe a little bit faster because I'm used to having the numbers on mine. So I didn't have them today. So I would like to end with a quote by Suzanne D. Geronimo, FAIA. She recently exclaimed at an AIA New Jersey Women in Architecture webinar that history is ongoing and history starts today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Judy, for the great presentation, and thanks to the Historical Archives Committee. Feel free if you have any questions. I have a few, but also you can continue for the next few minutes to put them in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and we'll see if we can get some answers. So first question, are there plans to continue to update the history? Judy?
So my thought is that, yes, we would like to do that. I need to talk to the current president. I need to speak to the board and get an approval on this. But I think it's almost essential because in going through this, it was very exciting and what an honor to do this. But it kind of sparked me and it got me going to looking through my photos, looking through my own archives. And I have lots of archives. And we found that Newark and Suburban has many, many archives, probably again, some from Carlton Riker. And so I spoke to Christy DiBartolo, AIA, a week ago or so. And I said, where are all these archives that were in storage? We AIA Newark and Suburban paid for a storage unit, and everything was put in there. I even sent my binders and things there as well. Well, Newark and Suburban took the money maybe last year, and they had every single one of those documents, those 2,000 to 3,000 documents scanned. So we do have a very big job ahead of us, and I'm hoping that the section will jump ahead and we can put together some new fun presentations for you. I know that me personally, I could probably do my own presentation from probably 2006 until 2012 just on Newark and Suburban, maybe a little bit more than that. So I would say we hope to. And whoever raised that question, if you would like to be one of the volunteers, please do, because we need you.
Okay. We have some more questions. How have the AIA Newark Suburban, how has the AIA Newark Suburban membership grown or shrank over the years?
I think that generally the Newark and Suburban membership has stayed steady for quite a few years. Years and years ago, it was a much smaller group. It has grown and grown and grown. When I was president, we had about 500 members. Now we're up to 640. So has it grown? It has.
Okay. One of our presidents served on AIA National's board as a VP. How many presidents served on the AIA National Board? So how many Newark Suburban presidents served AIA National?
So that's a great question. And right off the top of my head, I do not have the answers. I did go through the on AIA Newark and Suburban website. If you look under history, it lists all the presidents, the past presidents, the recipients of certain things. And I certainly could go through, or somebody could do that and maybe figure it out while I'm answering other questions. How many have served? Quite a few.
Okay, thank you. How many presidents have we had so far? And I guess I don't know. I guess if you direct people to the list, they can probably just count them up. It's on our website, I believe, right?
Well, yes, and our list starts from. I have a calculator right here. Can't do the math in my head. 2026 minus 1937. That's 89. However, Jerry served twice, and it's possible that a few others may have served twice. Okay. So somewhere in the 80s, I would say, for Newark and Suburban.
Perfect. Okay. And then was Van Brunner FAIA part of the Newark and Suburban section?
I'm not sure about that. Again, I would have to look at the list here. The name is not familiar to me, so I don't have that answer. We can find out though.
Okay. So the show had so many newspaper clippings. So I'm just kind of wondering, how did we get into so many local papers? Because today, although publications and newspapers have drastically changed, but most of them, there's still versions of them online, et cetera, but it's really difficult to get into them. Whereas I see that we had like galas and presentations, all kinds of things got into the paper in the olden days. How did they do that?
So part of my thought on that is the newspapers were looking for information. Architects and architecture were held to a high esteem. I think that the Newark and Suburban presidents and the board probably worked very hard to send in the articles. I know that when I was president, I probably do have a few articles. I know I was published as becoming president. We used to always get published as AIA president. I even submitted my own, and that would have been probably Jerry Eben and Bob and some of my people that I look up to and who work beside me. Did you get your article in there? Did you push it? We used to encourage it. We used to push it right to the newspapers, the Star Ledger. We tried really, really hard. A lot of the local papers did pick up articles, and I think it's different today. I even think that some of the announcements of the events that were upcoming were in the newspaper. So times have changed, but we do and have rolled into major, as we know, social media.
Cool. Okay. Kind of a question. Can AIA Newark Suburban set up some sort of system where even our general members can dump photos, articles, anything else we can find now so that future generations can easily navigate our history? Might be worth setting this up through the board and communicating it to our members. So
Sure,
that's
yeah.
good suggestion.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then
Well,
just an
the
answer.
one thing, Lisa, hold on. The one thing
Sure.
is the AI New Jersey Historical Society Archives Committee has asked, and on the last slide it said, if you do have slides, information, anything you want to share, to please reach out to them. So I would say definitely follow up with maybe Robert. He can direct you to Joyce Gattuccio or to the group. And there's also a website link that was on the very last slide. I can tell you what that link is because I still have that PowerPoint. Okay, so just one word, one thing, AIA NJ Historical Archives at gmail.com.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. Well, one of the prior questions was answered by another member. William Brown said that Van Bruner was a dear friend and lived and worked as part of the West Jersey section. He was not a member directly of Newark and Suburban, and Van Bruner is his full name. That is his full name. Okay, let's see. Couple more things. I guess not really so much a question, but there was a show, it seemed like in the history, there were many shows mentioned that promoted architecture, one at the Short Hills Mall and some elsewhere. Why did these shows stop, and could they be resurrected? I mean, it seemed pretty cool that there were shows that were there to promote architecture and local architecture.
So we do have construction that is in a public venue, and oftentimes lately, I think it's been in the Montclair, not the Montclair, I mean Morristown Art Museum. So that's a public venue. We have had other events. We had a construction build in Jersey City at the Hudson River financial building right near where the subway goes down. We've also had events at the malls. I think it's a great idea. And I'm hoping that Kelly, our current president, is listening in on this, and the board of trustees, so that they can work towards some goals of maybe more outreach, advocacy, and having more public events. There are public events. It's just, yeah, we work real hard. They work real hard.
Okay. Another question, is the guidebook that was printed, I guess, in the early 2000s, is that still available?
No, that is not available. That was discontinued. I probably have a couple copies. Too bad I don't have them in my hand. I could have shown you copies, but maybe we can certainly bring those to a presentation. Kind of the immediate moment forgot about the guidebooks, but that book was a really wonderful tool and a wonderful thing, and everybody loved having that paper copy. The paper copy did go away. There is a lot of information on the AIA Newark and Suburban.org website, AIANS.org website. For the immediate time right now, that has gone away.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a nice thing possibly to bring back, whether it's online or in paper. That's my 2 cents. But anyway, a comment from Bill Brown. The Suburban and Newark chapter formed in and around 1970, 1971, and formed on a coin flip of who would be president between Warren Bendixson and Harry Mailer, with Warren winning the coin flip. Ron Bertone, an alum from NJIT, was the first employee of Warren Bendixson, who had an office on James Street in Newark, New Jersey. So good information. And I think with that, I guess we can conclude today's history, and I guess continue on, with making history. And thank you, Judy, and the Historical Archives Committee once again for all your hard work.
Thank you.